Master, Creator, thank you, my King and Redeemer. Blessed be you, my eternal living Yah. All about you, Father. It is all about you. So I ask you, Father, to be glorified. Blessed be you, Creator, eternal, Master forever, of all eternity. I give you praise, Most High. Thank you that this is the day that you have made, and we will rejoice and be glad in it. You've given us the resurrection power, and we will use it throughout the rest of the day. Well, praise Yah. Today, family, I want you to know that I love you. Do my thumbs up, or what are they, the lights, or whatever it is, son Tobias?
Yes, ma'am.
Do those thumbs up. Let me know you're there, you're listening, you're waiting. Hallelujah. Do my thumbs up. I bless the Father for you. Hallelujah. You know I love you. It's all about the Creator. And that's what your EMA, your Mima is here to do. Share with you the herbs of the Bible. Hallelujah. This is the day that the Yah has made. We will rejoice and be glad in it. Praise be our King. Today we're going to do part 5. We're going to try to get to that other herbs. We're trying to get to the herbs of the Bible. And we've already just ended up with we started with A, and it don't seem like we're going to get off at 8 for a minute now. But we're going to do our best, and I love you. So keep those questions coming in, because you know that sharpens me. That's iron sharpening iron. You're going to keep asking for questions, making those questions, posing these things for me. I love it. You all don't know how much I love it, these questions. Let's start with another thing.
You guys want to start. I'm just typing in some of the one of the sheet rules in the live chat.
Yes.
I'm looking at this question real fast.
Okay.
It says, I got a question about ALS/Louis Gangren's disease. Any natural remedies?
ALS, let me see. Hold on. Let me write it down so I can see what ALS disease.
And it says Lou Gangren's.
Oh, Lou Gangren's disease. You know what, family? Okay, start off. Here's one thing. Now, there's 3 things. Well, actually, there's a plethora of things, but we're going to give you just a few for right now. And if you all look in the text part, look in your text, because I'm going to be texting out different things for different diseases.
You talking about the community post?
The community post.
What EMA is talking about, family, is the community post. When you go on God's Word 298, you subscribe to the channel. Whenever I make a post in the community that's from EMA, you should get a notification. If you don't get a notification, go to God's Word 298. At the very top, there's a playlist. Go to community, and right there in the community pages is all of EMA's posts.
Amen. Thank you, such bias.
Yeah, well,
Praise God. Now, let's do 2 things. Remember, I told you guys about Cardiac Arco. Cardiac Arco is really, really, really good for these different types of diseases, and what they call is dis-ease. So you want to do Cardiac Arco, family. You want to do something called Cardiac Arco. You're going to do your black cohosh for those, because it helps with black cohosh. And cohosh is spelled, it's B-L-A-C, black, and then C-O, cohosh. Black cohosh is good. That cleanses the lymphatic disease. It cleanses the lymphatics or the muscles. It cleanses the blood. That type of thing. You want to be very cautious, because you want to start off small. And what you want to do is just use it as a supplement. You can buy it as a supplement, and you can take according to the instructions in the back. But Cardiac Arco is good. And what you want to do, you want to do it as a tea. If you do it as a tea, you want to start off very little. So start off with like a pinch in a teacup, boil it. Start off with, I said, a tablespoon. And you boil that. And it's, you know, I talk about Cardiac Arco all the time. PAU. You all have to excuse my handwriting. You all know about my handwriting. Second word, Arco. Cardiac Arco. That's one of the herbs that will cleanse. It will cleanse you so much. It'll cleanse. It's a cleanser. It's a blood cleanser. Now, those are just 2 things now. So I want you to start off with that. another thing I want you to start off with, and that's frankincense. If you'll start off and do the frankincense, so the frankincense, you want to do it as a resin. So like I said, start small. Take a few, if you do the resins, start off with a few little granules, not the great big, and you start off with the granules and you just put in your mouth, suck on it, it'll turn into wax. It's actually a resin, and your resins start, end up with as like a waxy type stuff so you can chew. It's almost like chewing gum, but you'll let that stay in your mouth. And those are just 3 things. And I'm gonna put some other things in there you can use, family. If you want to put it on your different muscles, I would do frankincense as an oil as well. Do the frankincense as an oil. And there's something that I love, it's called helichrysum. Helichrysum it helps with the skin and everything. But remember we talked about how our bodies have certain elements in them, minerals like copper. You all know that I love copper. Takes pain away.
Yes, ma'am.
Copper is basically, that's why our bodies are so expensive to the world. That's why let's do this part. If you remember a while back when they were taking the people of, they called us copper people. So they would take the people, they would take their inside of them out. They would take the insides, like their internal parts out, and they would leave them with the shell. Well, what they were looking for and that use, and sounds gross, but this is part of the history of us.
Yes, ma'am.
And they would take our body, and they would take certain our adrenaline, our melanin. They take our glands out because our glands are pure with copper, iron. Yes, and they take them out. And so these things you want to replace. You want to help your cells to heal themselves. So you get the proper minerals in your body, it will actually heal itself. Don't forget your water, family. Don't forget a lot of water during this time. If you have Garrett's or ALS, make sure you have plenty of water. Plenty of water, push those toxins out. I put something down here too. I want to make sure that you keep your parsley water, your lemon water. Make sure you constantly pushing those toxins out, because those toxins are what's trapped in your muscles. And because they're trapped in the muscles, it's going to give you pain. It's going to give that stress to the muscles, to the body. So you want to keep that pushed out. And then don't forget, because I'm going to be posting a lot of information on that about that, okay? But I want you to start, because remember this, I want you to start small. And those 3 things that we just mentioned. And you know what you can do, family? Let me tell you this. Did you know you can take aloe vera? I've got aloe vera up there. You can take, the Bible talks about aloe, and that's in the scriptures. And I know you all have already seen my herbs and spices of the Bible, and it has aloe to the top where the scripture talks about the aloe, and how even to the point where you can take aloe vera gel or juice, and you can wipe those muscles, like when you take a bath. I'm not trying to tell you, when you take a bath, I'm not trying to tell you how to clean your body, but this is one thing that does help. Take this, now listen to this, this is your EMA. Your EMA, don't take offense. But when you take a bath, add a little bit of baking soda, which is an alkaline. You already know I'm all about alkaline. It's a baking soda, your bentonite clay, put a little bit of bentonite clay in your water. Now, you know how to spell bentonite. Let me put it down. It's bentonite clay. It's spelled just like it's a clay. Now, you can use the bentonite clay in your bath water. Take a little bit of, like I said, a little apple cider vinegar. I'd say about you're gonna start off small, half a cup into your bath water. Baking soda, like a cup of baking soda, because it alkalines the body. And then do some Epsom salt. Put that in your water, in your bath water. Switch it around, And then put a little bit, like about a tablespoon, you're gonna start off small, a tablespoon of bentonite clay in there and swish it around, make sure it's dissolved in there really good, not the clots and all that. It might do you, as a matter of fact, also family, since you're talking about this particular disease, what you want to do is alkaline the body, and you can take that bentonite, there's a bentonite clay where you can drink. Don't drink that powder. Make sure when you go to the whether you're vitamin shop or a place like that, ask them, do you have a drinkable bentonite clay? Take that bentonite clay and you're going, it's a cleanser. And what it does, unlike the charcoal, now we talk about the activated charcoal too. Yes, at night before you go to bed, now here's the thing, and there's so much I can tell you all, I love you too much. But anyway, take the activated charcoal and you're going to drink that like a teaspoon, start off small, a teaspoon, but when you drink the activated charcoal, you gotta drink a lot of water because it will dry you out and you wanna keep your muscles. So that's why I say a little bit at a time, and you wanna drink it at night before you go to bed, because in the morning when you get up, it's gonna have all that, it's gonna have that all so you can go to the potty. And it's going to push all those toxins out. So when you get up in the morning, you're going to take the bentonite clay, and the bentonite clay is going to take all those toxins and all the stuff that would bind with that activated charcoal, and it pushes the rest of it out as you drink your lemon water. So your lemon water should be the first thing in the morning that you're going to drink. Then as you do your lemon water, and then you do your apple cider vinegar, your cayenne pepper, because cayenne pepper does fabulous. We talked about that. You look at the God's Words 298, and you'll see all the things we said about cayenne pepper. And if you need more information, I'll put some more about that in there, about the cayenne pepper. Wonderful. We love cayenne pepper. And then you're going to do a little bit of honey, and you make that little mixture to taste, and you drink it. And you chase that with lemon water. You might say, EMA, you are giving us so much stuff to do. Well, when we finish, your kitchen is going to be your pharmacy, your apothecary. And you're going to have all these things in it. So when different things come up, you're going to help your body help you. How about that? Isn't that wonderful? You don't have to do those toxins and stuff like that anymore. Anyway, I love you. But you can do that. And then once you do that, now Mr. and I, what we do is I know son of ours. He's gonna be seeing this. So we know that garlic is wonderful, and because garlic is so alike in the ginger family, you can do the garlic, chop up a couple, start off with one garlic clove, chop it up until you increase to 2. You'll chop it up, and like Mr. does, he chops it up and he throws it back just like you would an aspirin, and he chases it with lemon water. It keeps him from having pain and stuff like that, but it's so good for the body. So as you go on through the day, you're like, what do we do? That's how we do it. We just roll like that. The other day he didn't take it. And you know what he did? He had little issues with his knee. He was kind of tired. Somebody's heard that when he was kind of tired a little bit. He was kind of, I said, see there? But anyway, we're not going to go into his speech. Don't tell him I said it. Don't say I said it. But, and then you can do it that way, fam. So let's start with that. And then we'll hit on some more things, some other herbs. But you want to start off with those things, those simple things already in your kitchen, okay?
And that was for the Lou Gehrig's disease?
Yes, the ALS.
Yes, ma'am.
And
I had another question that I was waiting for.
Okay, go for it.
The other question was, I'm scrolling up, excuse me for a moment.
That's okay.
I'm most trying to question this. Somebody was saying they had a problem with their teeth.
With their teeth?
And I got another question about, give me 1 minute with family. Okay, it's a shine. She said, Shalom, me, Mama. Been hurting mostly at night. What can I do for that?
Shalom, love. This EMA, thank you, wonderful. Thank you for the questions. Now, what you can do, you know what, every so often, let me say me. So when you all know me. So certain people in my house have a little issue with a tooth before that person went to the dentist or something like that. I'm just saying. So what we did was put a little clove in our mouths. Cloves, if you remember from the past God's Warriors 298, when I was sharing with you guys, clove is so wonderful. It's an antibacterial, antifungal. It's that xylocaine that was used, but they amplified it so much till it would numb the gums, and it takes bacteria out and all that at the same time. You can use cloves, put in your mouth at night or during the day, and you can do that and put it where you hold it there, because what it's going to do, you're not going to choke on it because it's so small. Cloves are so small that you won't choke on it. It's going to soften up, and you keep it in pack it up in that little area, and it'll work for you. The next thing you can do is use activated charcoal when you rinse your mouth with activated charcoal, because it takes the bacteria and all that out. It draws out there. But make sure you rinse your mouth really well, because it will take a lot of bacteria, more than what you really want to do. So you can rinse it with that, or some people like my nana used to do, my grandmother, she used to use salt, and you can use what they call the Celtic salt, and rinse your mouth out with Celtic, so rinse it out, and it's an antibacterial, antifungal. You can use that. Another thing you can do, and I'm just giving you you remember that mishwak last week we talked about, the mishwak stick?
Yes, ma'am.
That mishwak stick is the bomb, baby. You can use a mishwak stick. It will pull the toxins out. It helps your teeth. It helps the teeth in a fabulous way. You can use that, and we found in an international store, it's called a mishwak toothpaste. You can brush your teeth with that, and you can let it set in there. Another thing and I'm just giving you this various ideas of what you can do. You can do an oil pull. Take the oil pull. You can take oil. What I mean by oil pull, you can take coconut oil, and you can take about a teaspoon. Some people don't like it because they but what you can do, listen, it doesn't take much, and you'll get used to it. Every morning, when I have, when I'm not in a rush or whatever, I just have a habit of doing it. Take that coconut oil and like a tablespoon, and put it in the mouth, hold in the mouth, swish it around because it's going to melt. Swish it around in your mouth and let it sit for about 5 minutes, no more than 5 minutes. Swish it around the mouth, let it get all through your teeth. You're going to let it get all through your teeth and all of that, and all through the mouth, and let it go to the tongue and all that, because it's good for candida onto all of the tongue, remember. So for those who are dealing with candida, you can put that on the tongue. Don't swallow it. Don't swallow that coconut oil that you swished around your mouth. Don't swallow it. And after less than 5 minutes, but at least no more than 5 minutes and no less than 5 minutes. Keep it, swish it around in your mouth. And as you swish it around your mouth, spit it out. Spit it in the trash. Don't spit it in your toilet. Don't put it in your sink, because it's all that bacteria, and you don't want that, so it comes back on you. So you'll spit in the sink. In the trash. And then come back with the activated charcoal and brush your teeth with the activated charcoal. Brush it out really good. Don't forget your tongue, and brush your teeth with the activated charcoal. So rinse your mouth really good with the distilled water, and then use your mishwak. That's going to get rid of all that bacteria in the head and all of that. Or you can use your myrrh. Myrrh is good for that as well. It's another resin. You can do that. So I'm just giving you various things about a couple things you can do with that. So that's, do with those ideas, and then we'll come back with you more and let you talk. But that mishwak stick is the bomb. It will do what you want it to do. It would take, it's the remember last week, it's the whack. Oops. Sorry, fam. Whack stick. Mishwak stick. That's how you spell it. MISHAX. Mishwak. Can you see that?
I can see it, but it looks like wish hats.
Okay, let me redo it. Okay, let me do it like this. Thank you, baby.
No problem.
Let me see. Let me put it down here. It's Mish Whack Stick. Mish Whack Stick. And it's from,
That's MISHWAX.
yeah,
All right.
Mish Whack Stick.
Just in case somebody asks us something in this, you got it on the board, you just pronounce it. So,
Yeah.
we might.
Mish Whack Stick. And you can use it, and when, I know it looks funny because, and it smells like licorice, for those who love licorice.
Mm-hmm.
Some people call it the licorice stick.
Mm-hmm.
Some people like,
It's actually ignorant.
that's, exactly. And it, baby, it'll work on the teeth, and it works for that pain. You can use, and while you're doing that, use some black pepper, black peppercorn. Not only does black peppercorn help with inflammation, it helps with pain, it helps, oh babies, you can do like me, put maybe about 10 or 12 in your hand and just throw them back. I normally just put a handful, just toss them back and chase it with some lemon water or parsley water, because parsley will help with pain too and inflammation and stuff like that. And before long, that pain. Another thing for the pain, you can use, where we get aspirin from. And it's that, and it's gonna come to me in a moment. I don't know why all of a sudden I just lost that thing. But you can use it. It's from a tree. And they used to use it in place, that's where they get the aspirin from. But it's a root. And you can do that really simple and really easy. And I'll put it on those. It'll come to me, don't worry before you leave. So, family, with your body, you know what? And you guys have gone ahead of time and already got that pain thing going on. You can use lavender. I talked to my god sister last night, and she was dealing with a little bit of pain. And she said, when she uses that lavender oil, it just helps her rest, sometimes rest.
Yeah, and sleep.
Yes, it takes the pain away and it helps with rest. How about that? It takes pain away and it helps you rest. So family, you know what we do? At a certain, I think it's on, because I do it so much, I do it without even thinking. Certain days, and here, now I have to say this, I have to pre-lay this, family, the herbs are a healing aid to the body. You know, Brother Uriah taught a class on this past week, and it was about different things, but you all need to go back on that and check that teaching out. But in that, about the herbs are here to heal you. Those are just, he was saying how Adam and Eve used to walk above the earth. Their feet didn't touch the ground. Their feet did not touch the ground. Remember that, son Tobias? He said their feet didn't touch, because they didn't have the flesh to cover their body, so their feet. But we'll go on that. That's another thing. We won't touch on that. But anyway, you want to walk just like the babies do. You know how the babies walk without pain? They be walking just like everything is cool. I just learned how to walk and I'm good and all is well with the world. And I got a mama and daddy to take care of what I can't get to. Go like that. And that's how you want to feel. You want to feel like my father, my Abba has it all under control, and we don't have to worry about anything because he's already provided every need, every way of escape on our behalf. Our Father has provided a way of escape. Where is that, son Tobias? He's provided a way of escape. And he's made a way for every situation, every circumstance. It's pertaining to life and godliness. The Creator's already made a way for us. And the only thing you have to do is find out what these herbs do. Ooh, these herbs and these spices are all about. So look, for pain, and then we're going to go. That's why I was going to finish out. Take aloe vera juice, and did you find it?
Yeah, 1 Corinthians 10 and 13, and it says, there have no temptation taken you.
Come on.
But such as is common to man.
Come on.
But God is faithful. Come on. Who will not suffer you to be tempted above that ye are able.
Come on.
But with the temptation,
yes,
also make a way to escape.
Woo!
that ye may be able to bear.
That you might be able to think,
Yes, ma'am.
come on, eternal. Come on, my Father. He's already given us all things pertaining to life and godliness. Come on, work with me. Where's that scripture? He's given all things pertaining to life and godliness. Is that one in there? Okay, Google that. He's given us all things pertaining to life and godliness. I just want to make sure that you guys know that I'm not telling you all anything. I want you all to see this in the scriptures. It's in there, family. It's in there. Oh, back to aloe vera. You can take the aloe vera gel or juice, and you can, after you had that bath, remember we said with the Epsom salt, with the baking soda, a little bit of vinegar, apple cider vinegar in there. He said, Ema, you trying to cook us? No, I'm not trying to cook you. I'm just trying to help your muscles and your body and detox your body from the outside and from the inside. These things, and then after, when you dry it off, family, take a little bit of aloe vera, and this is going deep into the skin. Take that aloe vera juice and just go over your body a little bit, all over your body, especially those that are dealing with breast cancer or lymphatic system. You can take that aloe vera juice and just go over your body and double cleanse it. And while you sleep, you'll sleep like a baby. Don't forget to light your incense with the lavender, or either put some lavender oil in your mist, or some that have mist, or where you can burn the lavender, and I would try, where you can burn your lavender as you sleep. And talking about sweet sleep, painless, you want to get up in the night doing anything. So don't forget that thing.
We'll come back to it, but you have to give me a little bit more with this.
Okay.
Scripture.
I'll give you the rest of it. Okay, and then we'll post it and let them know where it is. So remember ginger, oh yes, you sleep. And if it tingles the first time, just go over your body and mist it with clean water. If it tingles the first time, but I'm sure you're going to love it. The aloe vera juice over your body with that juice, and it will heal. You can even do it in your hair. Take that aloe vera juice. You said, Ema, I've got some issues in my scalp. My scalp is itching so much. Take a little bit. Okay. Take a little bit. You got it?
Yeah, 2 Peter chapter 1, verse 3, where it says, according as his divine power hath given unto us all things that pertain unto life and goodness.
Hallelujah.
Through the knowledge of him that hath called us to glory and mercy. That was 2 Peter chapter 1, verse 3.
2 Peter 1, go ahead, creator. All things pertain to life and godliness. I love that. I love it. And this is proof that he's given us all things pertaining to life and godliness.
That's
all
right.
things, these things are just some,
These are the medicines
just the medicine. Come on, love.
Yes, ma'am.
Some medicines that he's given us to aid our bodies as while we're here on this earth. And I just praise him for that. He's altogether wonderful. Now, family, these are some pain relievers. Ginger, you know that. Remember spikenard in the Bible? Oh man, spikenard. If you could give it as a rest.
Oh, spikenard.
Yeah, it is spikenard. Now, you're gonna love me for this one. Spikenard, I want you all to go and see if you can find some spikenard. They have the oils, but you can get the rest into. But you get that oil and you can rub it into your muscles. Oh my King and Creator, talking about wonderful. You make me proud. That health chrism. Oh yes, not only does it smell, not spikenard smells wonderful too. You're gonna love that. Health chrism is another thing. We were talking about that healing oils and stuff like that. You can drink. Now this is Roman chamomile. I shortened it. It's chamomile. Roman chamomile is good for pain. It helps you rest. It relaxes the muscles. Drink it as a tea before you go to bed. Now you all remember that I spoke to you all about that a while back, about chamomile tea and how it relaxes the muscles and what it does for the body and how you get up so juvenile, even your brain feels like, thank you. I appreciate you for adding that to this diet. It's one of those things. Black pepper, we just talked about black pepper. We talked about the frankincense. And remember, family, we talked about frankincense, that the ritual name is boswellia. And you can get it cheaper if you go it under Boswellia. It's cheaper because for some reason, you know, how America rolls. So let's keep moving.
Okay.
So a lavender, remember we talked about lavender. And another thing we're gonna look at, and that's the birch. Remember, there's a beautiful tree, it's a birch tree. And we see it, if you all look at that birch tree is so strong. And remember, here's another thing that made me when I was looking at these trees and all that. When Yeshua touched the eyes of the blind man, he said, how do you, what was that word? Did he touch his eyes, or did he put clay in his eyes and had him wash? Or which one was that? Where he says, I see men as trees.
Oh.
And then he touched his eyes again, and he said, oh, I see men as they are. I was like, wow, that birch is it gets rid of, it helps with pain. Oh, it's called willow bark. I told you I was going to remember that. It's called willow bark family, white willow bark, and it's good. It's just what they used to use, what they call, America calls aspirin, and that's what it was before it became synthetic. But that white willow bark is just like aspirin, and when you take it, it does not affect your body negatively, but it aids the body and it relaxes the muscles. It doesn't give you the tired feeling. It helps you. It's just like aspirin, but it's better for the body because these elements your body is composed of these different elements. You found yourself, Tobias? While you're still looking?
No, I got it actually.
Okay, what does it say?
It's Mark 8, starting at 22, it says, and he come to a Satan, and they bring him a blind man unto him.
That's what I'm talking about.
And he sought him to touch him. And he took the blind man by the hand.
Yeah.
And led him out of the town. And when he had spit on his eyes and put his hands upon him, he asked him if he saw and walked. And he looked up and said, I see men as trees walking.
Come on.
After that, he put his hands again upon his eyes and made him look. And he was restored and saw every man clearly. Mark 8:22 through 26.
Come on, wheel that sport to Tobias. That is exactly, you know, these trees, now I could go off on some trees, but I'm trying to hold back, y'all. I'm trying to hold back a little bit so I can do a little bit at a time.
Right. But say something.
Say something. So Tobias said, Tobias said, hold something. But that birch tree is good for pain. The birch, the white willow, aspirin, and that birch is awesome. So you might want to invest in some of that. Also cumin, you want to invest in some cumin family for pain. If you're dealing with pain, do what we do in the mornings. Do a little bit of cumin. It's C-U-M-I-N, cumin. And we were going to go over that too. We got to that. But cumin, I think I got it here. Cumin, yeah, here we go. Cumin is Exodus 16:31, Numbers 11:17.
I think, go ahead, call mine, because I'm too far away.
Okay. Cumin, Isaiah 28:25 to 27, and Matthew 23:23. Let me say it again. Isaiah 28:25, and I'm sorry this is so far, I'm sorry. But cumin is Isaiah 28:25 and 27, Matthew 23 and 23. Talks about cumin. Pain, you know what? Cumin will help with pain, family. It's pain relief, just like Tulsi, another name for Tulsi. They have different types of basil. And I told you all about that, about 10 or different, I don't have that on here, but different types of basil. Basil, one of the names of basil, one of the types of basil called holy basil. And basil is called holy Tulsi, Tulsi. It's called Tulsi. Tulsi will help with pain, family. Tulsi. If you can get the liquid, get that liquid form of holy basil. It's called Tulsi, and help with pain. So you want to drink take about a tablespoon or 2 tablespoons and chase it put it in some water, distilled water. I'm only distilled water. So y'all excuse me. So whatever works for you, I'm saying clean water. But anyway, so put it in a 8-ounce glass. Sometimes I use like 3 or 4, and I just drink it down. You can mix it with Tulsi. If you can find a liquid Tulsi, they'll say liquid Tulsi, or some places will say holy basil, and put it in there, and it gets rid of pain as well. And plus it does it brings oxygen, and it balances the pH balance. It balances the pH balance in the body. Woo! Don't you know I love the Creator for all that?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, He is so awesome on that. So I just, you know what? I started off, I know I'm about to go off, because we started off with the herbs of vitamin A. The herbs of the Bible. So I'm sorry, family. It was the A, B. We were supposed to try to get to the B today, but we're going to see what we can do. So we can do that with that basil, cumin. Take cumin. Oh, I started to say cumin is a powder. It's ground off of the pot. Oh, it looks so cute. It's the reason why I've gotten so. Our grandbaby, she's on this. They're little bitty people, and they love things that are cute. They go, Nana, we love that's a cute. Those are so cute plants, and they're munchkins when it comes to basil. When I go down there and I try to grow some basils, they come in from school and they say, "Ooh, basil, peppermint, I said, can you let them grow 1 leaf? Just 1 leaf. Let 1 leaf grow on the basil." But anyway, but they're little munchkins. And it's the base, it's the cumin. Oh, I started with the cumin. Cumin, take a little bit of, and this is what I do. You put on your food. I do this. I take about a half of a teaspoon or a teaspoon or 2 in a little container, and I put a little bit of honey, and I mix it into like a paste. And Mr. and I just take the cumin and take it like like you're taking a cough syrup or something like that, but it's real pasty. And you want to mix it, so don't put so much honey in it till it's soupy, but put enough in there so it covers. Some don't like the taste. So we take it, it's like a paste, and then we chase it with lemon water. He chases with almond milk, and put a little bit of that, and then it goes to the body. It's just like a pain reliever. I'm telling you, these are just certain things that you can do as pain relievers. Something as simple as that. It's wonderful, but let's go on. And family, you know what? For those that are dealing with their menstrual cycles, don't forget you can use that too, family. And it's like oxygen. It's oxygen going through the body. Can you believe? Remember I told you all about how these little things go through, and they take like their little buckets, and it's like they take these little buckets, knock on the door, remember that? And they knock on the door and say, "Can we come in today? And I know you have need for us. Can we come in today? And how much can we bring to you?" That's what they do. And then when they get too much, they'll say, "Well, shut the door and say, we don't need any more right now. Come back later." And they use it and utilize it. And then when they knock on the door again and they'll say, "Do you need it right now?" They'll say, "Yes, come on in, give us a certain amount." That's how you gotta look at these herbs and spices. They'll do exactly what the Creator created them to be and to do. So these are your pain, some of your pain relievers today, your muscles and joints. I just want to put that out there. And that's good for the ALS diseases. And what it does, it removes toxins. And then it heals. It removes and heals toxins in the body. So help me help you, family. Please add this to your dietary plans. I love you too much. Now we're gonna come with liquids. Now you all know before I get you on these, we are growing asparagus in the back. Now you know I have this garden going on. I have to tell you, I have this garden. So with this garden, asparagus. And at first I didn't love, remind me to tell you all about cigarette smoke. So some people say asparagus smells and tastes like cigarettes. Yeah, that's what they told me. That's what they told me. I don't know, but that's what they told me. So, do you know dandelion? With those, come to think of it, for those who are dealing with, who want to get rid of smoking, they have that habit, cigarette habit. You can drink dandelion tea and it helps curb the appetite for the taste of cigarettes.
Really?
Yeah, it helps you. It helps with that
Somebody
dandelion.
just asked me about that last part. I'm glad you put that out there, Iman. That ain't really move on.
Yeah, you can, the cigarettes, it helps drink dandelion tea, and it helps curb that appetite. So if you really want to get rid of the cigarettes, start drinking your dandelion tea,
Yes.
and it helps with that. And some other things I'm going to be putting on the YouTube, on the community board. Is that what it's called? Community board?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. On the community board, I'm going to be putting some of those also different herbs that would take cigarettes taste out of the mouth, and it will give you that energy so that you won't even desire to smoke anymore.
Right.
But
Most people take it for the opposite thing, to relax.
to relax,
Right.
yeah, that's what the mishwak stick comes in.
You sure right. You sure right, Iman.
So don't forget your mishwak stick, because that's what the mishwak stick is. You'll have something in your mouth. It's healing to the body. It aids, brings oxygen. It balances the pH balance and all of that in the mouth. And it helps with the nerves and tensions and anxieties, that mishwak stick.
Yeah.
So you can use that mishwak stick, family, that are dealing with cigarette addictions and things like that. But you got to will to want to get rid of it. You have to want to get rid of it, and to get rid of the addiction. So those are just a few tools that you can use. Okay, this even thinks you're wonderful. And so let's go back to the asparagus. The asparagus is an antioxidant. Some people, I don't like the taste of asparagus. Yeah. But if you look at what they look like, oh my king. But guess what asparagus does? They're antioxidants. Tell me when my time is up. Antioxidants, and they remove toxins. Remove all those toxins that bring pain to the body, family. This is still in the A. Remember we talked about that letter A, that Hebrew letter A, which looks like this. That's the letter alphabet A. Don't forget, alphabet A. Letter A. And it's in Hebrew. This is the letter A. Okay, can you all see that? Can they see that, Santa Barbs? No. Okay.
Where it's at.
Letter A in Hebrew.
It's very small, but yeah,
They can see it? Should I? Okay. Okay. Letter A in Hebrew. Okay, family. We're still on that. We're gonna get away from A in a little while. The breath. Remember we talked about that's the breath. The breath. But in asparagus, it's antioxidant, it removes toxins, it's rich in vitamin C, and we love vitamin C. It's rich in calcium and iron. So family, so those that are dealing with menopause or female issues during that time of the month, your menses, ladies, you want to eat some asparagus. Some asparagus. And it gets rid of pain too, so I love asparagus. I had to teach my taste buds. Sometimes you gotta train your taste buds to like certain things when you know what it is and what it does. You gotta train your taste buds, family. Please train your taste buds. Your taste buds are like the babies. When babies say, oh, they'd rather, instead of having something good, they want sugar. They want the candy. I was talking to a lady, and I'm going to tell you, and I said, do you know what licorice does? And she said, I love licorice. I said, you do? So you know what it does? She said, wait, even when you talk about licorice, what are you talking about? And I told her, and she said, oh, I thought you meant the candy. So family, it's not the candy, but it can be if you change your taste buds to like candy. It'll be just like that for the body, an aid and awesome for the body. But I wanted to get to these particular things. Now, before I go to the next family, you all have any questions? I want to make sure you all, just like arrowroot. Do you know arrowroot is a thickener, but it's one of those things that if you could use a little bit, and ladies, you could put a little, they use arrowroot in their deodorant because
It's called Herbal.
arrowroot, let me put it on this side. Do you know they use arrowroot in your deodorant to keep you dry?
Okay, this is the antiperspirant.
And on the antiperspirant, but they won't tell you that, but you have to be careful with arrowroot, family. Arrowroot this is all one word. Arrowroot, it's all one word.
Okay.
Some places it'll put two, but it's basically arrowroot is one word. And it was used, some people use it, but it has other things for the uses for arrowroot. You can use it as a thickener. Before we use flour, they used to thicken their food with arrowroot. Yeah.
So it's similar to flour?
It's similar to flour, but it's a thickener.
Okay.
And if you use a little bit of it, what it'll do is put a little bit under your arm and it'll dry it. But you don't want to put a whole lot under your arms because it'll dry a little bit too much. And if you're raw, yeah, it'll make it kind of raw. So you want to be careful of how much you use, but under the arms. But it would draw. It's a thickener. And they would put it in, but it's so good. But okay, I'm not going to tell you about that because I got one more thing to tell you, and I know we got to close up real quick. But listen to this. They would use, instead of using the starch, arrowroot is like a starch. It is a root. It looks like a potato. And it looks like it's not one of the things that my nanas used to say, oh, that's such a cute little plant. No, it's kind of ugly. But it's still, it looks like a potato. And it's real thick, and they use it in other countries as a thickener. And some people just use it as a root, as a potato, and they'll use it as a potato and they eat it and it's so nutrient based. So I just had to share that one with you before we close out today. Do we have any questions before I end? Do we have any, Tobias? Do we have any questions before we end?
No, man, you're fine.
Okay, so family, I love you too much. I'm not going to take much of your day. I just came in to tell you that I love you and add a few little things for your delightful pleasure about our herbs, our spices, and to add a little bit more. And to tell my family, ladies, you might want to put a few of this. Oh, you already know about the fennel family. Those ladies that are dealing with, now check out the comments because in our community board where we're talking about pain and fatigue, and I said that to you yesterday, about
I hope so. Yesterday's and
family, I want you to look at that. Ladies, look at that because that will, it's all about the fatigue this time. And because it's so hot outside, I know you all are drained for energy. So by me being fit, remember when we always told you about, yes.
I just want to show them one time. But even my son noticed, my phone's a little blurry. It's not coming in right. Some of y'all know what she's talking about. But if you go to God's Word tonight, you scroll up here, you'll see community. When you press on community, them all the posts like that EMA makes. So you scroll up and down, you see all the posts. So once again, go to God's Word tonight, go to community right there, you should see all the EMA posts.
Hey, Dad, thank you.
No problem.
Thank you. So ladies, don't forget that your baby is your friend. You can drink it either hot or cold. It gets rid of depression. It fights depression. It fights mold during this time because you know what happens in our body with candida and all that. I put a little something in there for you, ladies. Also, the ginger and parsley, you can drink that as a cool or hot. This time of the year, you might want it cold. So you can drink it as a cooler, it'll cool you off, plus it'll help with some of that pain. Also, ladies, you know you want to invest in some of this ginger. We just said ginger for the pain and different things like that. Pop some, ladies, you want to pop some black peppercorn back in the throat. Take it like you're doing an aspirin or some white willow bark. It'll help with a little bit of pain and inflammation in the body while you chew on a little bit of frankincense resin. Boswellia resin. Family, women, don't forget you can do, the cumin is good for breast swelling, the tenderness in your breast during this time of the month. It also helps with the memory, because I know during that time we have so much going on, so much pressure going on the body. This will help with the vitamin C, vitamin B, especially vitamin D. We know that we work with vitamin D3 because we get it from the sun. And those that are still behind, when you're in the working area and you're outside, you're not in the sun as much because you're working and all that type of thing, invest in some vitamin D and E, because that's good for inflammation, pain, anxieties, and all that. So women, don't forget that you can go in. And also, don't forget during this time, it keeps the body in balance. Don't forget, you can also do black activated charcoal at night. In the morning, get some bentonite clay that you can drink. And drink some of that, and that relieves some of the pain in the muscles. Also, this is good for ALS, family. Aloe vera, don't forget, family, you can wipe up a little bit at night before you go to bed with a little aloe vera juice, just a little bit on your towel, mix with a little bit in the sink, and just cleanse your body. That's an extra form of cleansing, ladies, for certain places where, you might want to wipe into and clean up a little bit. Ladies, don't forget vitamin C is your friend. Also iron. I've posted a lot of places where you can get your iron, a lot of food that you can get your iron. You know what, here's the thing. If you don't know a thing, my dad used to say, if you don't know, it's what you don't know that will hurt you. What you don't know what would hurt you. My dad wanted to major in history. And I'm getting you a little insight from my family. Oh, my dad. Well, anyway, so, and he used to want to be a history major. And so he did major when he was coming up in school as a history major. He was a history teacher. And so with that, he used to say, what you don't hurt, what you don't know will kill you, because you're doomed to repeat the same thing over and over. It's saying,
you don't know that Christianity is not the truth. And being that you don't know it, you're spiritually killing yourself.
Yes, exactly.
Yes, ma'am.
Come on.
You have a question?
Yes, ma'am.
JP asks, basically, what's good for foot fungus?
Foot fungus, you know what you can use? You can use, now here's the thing, bentonite clay. Bentonite clay is your friend. You can put a little bit, let me tell you what, certain people in our household, how about that? Had a little issue with foot fungus. And so every so often what we would do is put a little bit.
I'm just assuming we were talking about
well, we're not saying, but we would put a little bit of baking soda. You know what I do? And let me tell you about a couple things. We use orange peel, and at night, when we would take our shoes off, we would put orange peel, because an orange peel in the shoe, because what's the use in you cleansing? And what's the use, right? What's the use in cleansing your feet from the bacteria, and then you put your feet back in the shoe?
Right.
The same, so you're doing repetitive. You cut it out for the root. So we kept putting in his shoes, well, I said it. In his shoes, we put orange peel. We took orange peels and lemon peels, because the orange peels draw the toxins out. They say that they discovered, but it was always here. The citrus will pull toxins out of the shoes. So you can use orange peels, you can use lemon or lime peels, you can use grapefruit peels, and stick them in your shoe. So those shoes that you reverse and put in there, and you'll notice that it'll come up after later on, and you'll take those orange peels out, and they'll be real moldy or crusty when you pull them out. And that's because it drew the mold and stuff out of your shoes. But before you do that, as you do that, put a little bit of apple cider vinegar in your foot bath. Take a little apple cider vinegar in your foot bath, a little baking soda, bentonite clay, and Epsom salt. The Epsom salt is like a catalyst. It will pull those toxins out. The apple cider vinegar will do the same thing, and you put that baking soda in there and you mix it up. And it's like a little spa. Once it pulls the toxins from the feet, because it's actually all that toxins that are coming back. Some of it, it's like an overload of fungus, mold, and bacteria that are in your body. And what's in your body, it comes to the feet, because the feet has all those other things that attach to the other part of your body. So you want to pull those toxins out, and with that, you remember apple cider vinegar, baking soda, let me see, apple cider vinegar, baking soda, excuse me, the bentonite clay, and you put that in your water. Put a couple drops of mustard seed oil. I always found out that works, and I'll tell you about the mustard seed oil in another time. Mustard seed oil, just a couple drops, about 3, maybe 5 drops at the max. Put a mustard seed oil in it. You can get the mustard seed oil from an international store. Indians use it all the time or whatever. But put that in there and let your feet, so while you're sitting reading, or if you like watching television, while you're watching TV, let it set for your feet in that water for about 45 minutes, and you'll see all the toxins coming out when you pour all that out. So you're gonna massage it, and when you take your feet out, make sure you have what is called a Puma stone, P-U-M-A, a Puma stone, and you're gonna rub all that calcium and stuff out, off the top that comes out. You're gonna pull that from the feet, and your feet are gonna be so soft while detoxifying the inside. You're gonna be stepping so high, you're gonna feel so good. But you wanna do this, since you have this, you're gonna be doing this at least, if not once a week, at least once a week. And that gets rid of the fungus and everything. And then you're gonna take that, now remember, you can use a little baking soda, put that baking soda underneath. You know, you have 2 layers of your shoe, in that top layer, and then there's another part that's going under the shoe, and that second layer. Put that under there, and it acts as it keeps the mold and everything, because it's going to draw all that moisture out of your feet and out of the shoe, actually. And it's going to aid with that orange peel or citrus peel. And that's going to help. And I'll post some more things about that. You can more different herbs that you can use for your fungus, for foot fungus. So good question. Keep them coming. I love that. So those are some things you could start off with for foot fungus, and they work, family. It really works. And if you really want to do if you want to go a little extra, what they call a little extra, take a little eucalyptus leaves. If you can find some dry eucalyptus leaves and put it in the bottom of your shoe, that pulls toxins out too. No witchcraft, nothing like that. But those are just some things that help you. It's eucalyptus leaves or bay leaves. That's another thing about that bay leaves again. You say, Amy, you always on that bay leaves. Nothing but the See, I'm telling you, come on, Creator. Thank you, Eternal. Put a little bay leaves in the bottom of your shoe, in the bottom of the shoe, between. Now remember that layer, the layer that touches your foot, and it comes out of the shoe, and that part of the shoe is really under. And you can put that bay leaf under there, and it'll pull the toxins as you walk through. So those are just a few of things, family. Any other questions real quick? No? This EMA thinks you are absolutely awesome. I thank the Eternal for you, because you're fearfully and wonderfully made. And until your feet begin, until you reach the apex, as my grandbaby said, the apex, the highest with your Eternal, guess what? We're going to keep you pain-free, healed, whole, delivered, and set free. Because all these things the Creator has initiated for you. He's created for you to walk in the highest apex of Him, because He is the only one. He's the El. There's something that I love to say all the time, and that's El Na'aman. El, we know what the name is El. He is the faithful and true Creator. Na'aman means faithful. El, He's a faithful King and Creator. So my heart to yours, my love to you. This EMA thinks you're wonderful, and I thank you for tuning in. You are fearfully and wonderfully made. This is your EMA. Keep the questions coming. I love you. Blessings on this triumphant Tuesday. Keep it moving.